Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Road to 180 Pound Pull Up. It is Saturday morning. Thank goodness. Got a little bit of extra sleep in the morning. Hydrating a bit here. Just did my weigh in for the week. Only up about 0.2 pounds, so nothing too crazy. With the extra sleep, might be slightly a bit more if I did my normal wake up time. So a little bit heavier, but that could be more muscle that's on the body. It could be a little bit of bloating that hopefully I can get off here before my afternoon workout, but we'll see. Normally on the weekends, I work out a little bit earlier. I usually will do about maybe 2 hours earlier than normal, so I have to shift around the diet a little bit. But yeah, regardless, I'm ready to crush it. Saturdays usually don't go pretty well, but we're going to break the mold today. I feel really good after my last pull-up workout, so the goal is to just get in there, get the work done, no excuses. Let's put in some good effort today.
And put in a good effort, we sure did. Now, today I'm going to try it a little bit different, kind of quickly go through the workout and give you some highlights and nitpick a little bit. So, the overall summary for this was front levers suffered a little bit, but my weighted pull ups were definitely better. So, front levers, 19.75 seconds on the first, yes, I counted, and then 17 seconds on the second. Not horrible by any means, but definitely not as good as the previous week. But luckily, that translated well for one arm pull ups. Had a pretty good warm up, felt really good, and then translated that into my sets of one arm pull ups, 2 sets of 4 reps on each arm, and they felt much better than last week. I felt like I was able to chain reps together. They didn't feel as clunky. They went up a little bit smoother. That always feels pretty nice when it happens, even though it can be rare from times. It really just depends how the body's feeling, but it's nice when the body is more in a groove with the one arm pull ups. From there, we then went into the sets of 125-pound pull ups. Just for timing purposes, after I finish my sets of one arm pull ups, I do 4 minutes rest in between before I start my first set of weighted pull ups, and then I'll do 3 minutes rest in between. First set of pull ups, 5 reps ish. It was very borderline on that 5th rep, but I counted it, so that's a slight improvement from last week. And then I clocked in a 4.9 and a 4.8. My scale that I normally use is based on when I'm doing the pull up. If I'm not getting the chin up to the bar, it's am I getting it to the wrist wrap that I'm using, am I above that but below the bar? I'll usually count that as a 0.9. If it's within the wristband, I count that as like a 0.8. Below that is usually anywhere from a 0.8 to 0.7. It just depends. From there, it's a little bit more on me to make the decision, but I'll use that just to try to keep consistency so I can track progress over time. And that's one thing I highly recommend. Tracking your progress to see if you're pushing yourself enough over time is very important. So with those out of the way, I felt pretty good and transitioned that into 90-pound pull-ups. I'll do about 2 minutes rest after the heaviest pull-ups after I'm cleaning up the additional 35-pound plate. And today got a set of 7, which is always good to see after last week struggling with just getting 6 reps. Unfortunately, the next 2 sets, a tough 6 and then a 5.9. So the 7 made it a little bit tougher for the next ones, but sometimes you got to put yourself out there and put in a little bit of extra effort and slog through the rest of your reps. So that's okay. From there, finished off with the accessory work, one-legged front lever. My arms weren't as straight as I wanted them to be, but it's not the end of the world. I was very fatigued at that point after 2 sets of one-arm pull-ups and 6 sets of heavy weighted pull-ups. So I'll work to improve that. And I think some of it too is just my arms were super pumped, so it looks even less straight than normal too. And then finished off with weighted chin-ups. a set of 10 and a set of 9, and then toes to bar, a set of 10 and a set of 9, and then my TRX rows 12 and 12. Nothing new to report here, just struggling through to maintain the technique there and, do my best, I guess, and survive and use that muscle building to translate into the next workout. I feel like this is a pretty solid workout. The overall thoughts from the previous week when I had that mental breakthrough with 135, it definitely swung over into this one that you just have to go for it. And even though the numbers aren't drastically better, there were some improvements, even though it was a Saturday. My workouts tend to be worse on Saturdays. So big win there. Can't wait to see what it looks like next week. And then, yeah, I think outside of that, I'm really excited for this next 135-pound session that'll be coming up. Might go to 140, still kind of on the fence there. But I also have a visitor that'll be coming in then, but we'll cover that in the next vlog. Food montage. For dinner, we went and got Subway, which is low-key underrated. I did not, unfortunately, get the footlong cookie. Instead, got a footlong on a flatbread, rotisserie-style chicken, provolone, honey mustard. Very good, very satisfying, and I don't feel horrible after. For dessert, we got Andy's frozen custard. This has been my go-to spot recently. If I'm craving something, it's always hitting the spot for me right now. My go-to is a concrete, which is basically just custard mixed in with your toppings of your choice. I'm getting Butterfinger and melted chocolate chip. Melted chocolate chip is a game changer, and this combo is dynamite. I just recently put out a handstand video where I'm trying a little bit of a different format with a little bit more humor and some animations that are suspect, to say the best. So let me know what you think about those. Thank you for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below and subscribe if you enjoyed it and want more. Thanks, everyone.